My fair Hippolyta, we'll be getting married in 4 days' time, on the day of the new moon, but it seems to me that the days are passing too slowly. That old slow moon is keeping me from getting what I want, just like a widow makes her stepson wait to get his inheritance.
No, you'll see. 4 days will soon turn into 4 nights, and since we dream at night, time passes quickly then. And then the new moon, like to a silver bow, new bent in heaven, will look down on our wedding celebration.
Philostrate, get the young people of Athens ready to celebrate and have a good time. Sadness is only appropriate for funerals. We don't want it at our festivities. Hippolyta, I wooed you with violence. Using my sword, I injured you and got you to fall in love with me. But I'll marry you under different circumstances, with extravagant festivals, public festivities, and celebration.
Long live Theseus, our gracious Duke.
Thanks, good Aegeus. What is new with thee?
I'm here full of anger to complain about my daughter Hermia. This man, Demetrius, step forward, Demetrius, has permission to marry my daughter. But this other man, Lysander, you've captured my child's imagination by giving her rings, toys, trinkets, things that are very impressionable in a young person. You sung fake love songs by a window by moonlight. You've connived to steal my child's heart by making her stubborn and harsh instead of obedient, like she should be. And I ask my gracious Duke that you let me exercise the right that all fathers have in Athens. If she will not marry Demetrius, she will be killed.
Well, what have you to say for yourself, Hermia? Think carefully, pretty girl. You should think of your father as a god, since he is the one who gave you your beauty. To him, you're like a figure. He's sculpted out of wax, and he has the power to keep that figure intact or to disfigure it. Demetrius is an admirable man.
So is Lysander.
True, Lysander's admirable too. But since your father doesn't want you to marry him, you must think of Demetrius as the better man.
Your Grace, I don't know what makes me think I can say this, and I don't know if speaking my mind to someone as noble as you will damage my reputation for modesty. But please, tell me, what's the worst thing that can happen to me if I refuse to marry Demetrius?
Well, you'll either be executed or you'll never see another man again. So think carefully. Consider how young you are and question your feelings. Then decide whether you could stand to live the rest of your life wearing a priestess habit, caged up in a cloister forever, living your whole life without a husband or children, weekly chanting hymns to the cold and virginal goddess of the moon. Although people who can restrain their passion and stay holy forever are rewarded in heaven, a married woman is happier on earth. A married woman is like a rose who is picked and made into a beautiful perfume, while a priest just withers away at the stem.
I would rather wither away than marry someone that I don't love.
Take some time to think about this. On the day of the new moon, the day when Hippolyta and I will be married, be ready to do as your father wishes, to be executed for disobeying him, or to become a virgin priestess for the moon goddess.
Please give in, sweet Hermia. And Lysander, stop acting like she's yours. I've got more of a right to her than you do.
Her father loves you, Demetrius, so why don't you marry him and let me have Hermia?
It's true, rude Lysander. I do love him. That's why I'm giving my daughter away to him.
My lord, I'm just as noble and rich as he is. I love Hermia more than he does. My prospects are just as good as his, if not better. And most importantly, beautiful Hermia loves me. So why shouldn't I be able to marry her? Demetrius, and I'll say this to his face, Coordinator's daughter Helena. That sweet lady Helena loves devoutly. She adores this horrible and unfaithful man.
I have to admit, I've heard something about that, but I was busy with personal affairs, and it slipped my mind. Anyway, Demetrius and Aegeus, come with me. I'd like to speak to you about something in private. As for you, Hermia, be ready to do as your father wishes, because otherwise the law states that you must either die or become a nun, and there's nothing I can do about that. Come with me, Hippolyta. Demetrius and Aegeus, come with us. I'd like you to do a few things for our wedding, and I'd like to speak to you about something that concerns you both.
With duty and desire, we follow.
My love, why are you so pale? Why have your rosy cheeks faded so quickly?
Probably because my cheeks' roses needed rain, which I could easily give them with all the tears in my eyes.
Listen, in books they say true love always faces obstacles. Either the lovers were of different social standing,
Oh, how awful to be too high on the social ladder and to fall in love with someone beneath you.
or else they were very different ages,
Oh, how terrible to be too old to love someone young.
or their parents and advisors said no.
What hell to have your love life decided by someone else.
Or even, if the lovers are a good match, their love may be ruined by war, death, or sickness. So their affair only lasts an instant. Her love may be as fleeting as a shadow, her short term as a dream, lasting only as long as it takes for a lightning bolt to flash across the sky. Before you can say, look, it's gone. That's how intense things like love are quickly destroyed.
If true lovers are always thwarted, then it must be a rule of fate. So let's be patient as we deal with our problem. It's as normal to love as sighs, dreams, wishes, and tears.
Listen, I have an aunt who's a widow, who's very old and doesn't have any children. She lives about 20 miles from Athens, and she thinks of me as a son. I can marry you there, gentle Hermia. The strict laws of Athens can't touch us. If you love me, sneak out of your father's house tomorrow night and meet me in the woods a few miles outside of town. You know the place. I met you there once with Helena to celebrate May Day. I'll wait for you there.
Oh, yes, Lysander, I will meet you there. I swear on Cupid's strongest bow and his best gold-tipped arrow, and on the goddess of love's innocent white doves. I swear on the pyre on which Queen Dido burned herself when her lover Aeneas jilted her. I swear on all the promises that men have broken, and men have broken more promises than women have ever made. I swear that I'll meet you there tomorrow.
Keep your promise, my love. Look, here comes Helena.
Godspeed, fair Helena. Where are you going?
Did you just call me fair? Take it back. You're the fair one as far as Demetrius is concerned. Oh, you're so lucky. Your eyes are like stars and your voice is more musical than a lark song is to a shepherd in the springtime. Sickness is contagious. I wish beauty were contagious too. I would catch your good looks before I left. My ear would be infected by your voice, my eye by your eye, and my tongue would come down with a bad case of your melodious speech. If the world were mine, I'd give it all up, everything except Demetrius, to be you. Oh, teach me to look how you do and what tricks you use to make Demetrius fall in love with you.
I frown at him, and he still loves me.
If only my smiles could inspire love as effectively as your frowns.
I curse him, and he still loves me.
If only my prayers could inspire that kind of affection.
The more I hate him, the more he follows me around.
The more I love him, the more he hates me.
It's not my fault he acts like that, Helena.
That's true. It's your beauty's fault. I wish I had a fault like that.
Well, he'll never see my face again. Lysander and I are running away. Before I saw Lysander, Athens seemed like paradise. But he's so attractive, he's turned heaven into hell.
So I guess we'll tell you of our secret plan. Tomorrow night, when the moon shines over the water and decorates the grass with tiny beads of pearly light, the time that always hides runaway lovers, we plan to sneak out of Athens.
You know, that spot in the forest where we used to lounge on the pale primroses and tell each other sweet secrets? That's where Lysander and I will meet. We'll make new friends and keep the company of strangers. I hope you win over Demetrius. And remember, Lysander, keep your promise. We have to stay away from each other until midnight tomorrow.
I will, my love. Goodbye, Helena. I hope Demetrius comes to love you as much as you love him.
It's amazing how much happier some people are than others. People throughout Athens think that I'm as beautiful as Hermia, but so what? Demetrius doesn't think so, and that's all that matters. He refuses to admit what everyone else knows. But even though he's making a mistake by obsessing over Hermia so much, I am also making a mistake since I obsess over him. Love can make worthless things beautiful. Love sees not with the eyes, but with the mind. That's why paintings of Cupid, the god of love, always show him as blind. And love doesn't have good judgment either. Cupid has wings and no eyes, so he's bound to be reckless and hasty. That's why they say love is a child, because it makes such bad choices. Just as boys like to play games by telling lies, Cupid breaks his promises all the time. Before Demetrius ever saw Hermia, he showered me with compliments and swore he'd be mine forever. But when he got all hot and bothered over Hermia, his promises melted away. I'll tell Demetrius that Hermia is planning to run away tomorrow night. He'll run after her. If he is grateful to me for this information, it'll be worth my pain in watching him pursue my rival Hermia. At least I'll be there to see him when he goes, and then again when he comes back.
everyone here?
You were best to call them generally, man by man, according to the script.
This is a list of all the men in Athens who are good enough to perform in the play we're going to put on for the Duke and Duchess on their wedding night.
Now, good Peter Quince, tell us what the play's about, and then read the names of the actors, and then shut up.
This play is called A Very Tragic Comedy About the Horrible Deaths of Pyramus and Thisbe.
Oh, let me tell you, it's a great piece of work, and very, very funny. Now, Peter Quince, read the names of the actors. Men, gather around him.
Nick Bottom, the Weaver.
Ready. Name what part I'm for, and proceed.
You'll play the part of Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover or a tyrant?
A lover who kills himself very nobly for love.
Oh, that will require some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure. Name the other actors. But you see, I'm really in the mood to play a tyrant. I could do a great job with Hercules or any other part that requires ranting and raving. I can rant and rave very well. Here, listen. The raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates, and Phoebus's car shall shine from far and make and mar the foolish fates. Thank you. That was truly inspired. Thank you. Name the other actors. By the way, my performance just then was in the style of Hercules, the tyrant style. A lover would have to be weepier, of course.
Francis Flute, the bellows maker.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Flute, have been cast as Thisbe.
Who's Thisbe? A knight on a quest?
Thisbe is the woman Pyramus is in love with.
Come on, don't make me play a woman. I'm growing a beard.
That doesn't matter. You'll wear a beard and you'll wear a mask and you can make your voice as high as you want.
Then let me play Thisbe too. I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisbe, and then in falsetto. Ah, Pyramus, I'm your dear lover, your dear Thisbe.
No, Bottom. You're Pyramus, and Flute, you're Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Robin Starveling, the tailor.
Here, Peter Quince.
You'll play Thisbe's mother. Tom Snout, the handyman.
Here, Peter Quince.
You'll play Pyramus's father. I'll play Thisbe's father myself. Snug the joiner, you'll play the part of the lion. So that's everybody. I hope this play is well cast now.
Excuse me, but do you have the lion's part written down? If you do, please give it to me. I need to start learning the lines. It takes me a long time to learn things.
You can just improvise the whole thing.
Then let me play the lion too. Let me play the lion too. I'll roar so well that it'll be an inspiration to anyone who hears it. I'll roar so well that the Duke himself will say, "Ah, let him roar again! Ah, let him roar again!"
If you roar too loudly, you'll scare the Duchess and the other ladies and make them all scream, and that would get us all executed.
Oh,
My friends. I have to admit that if I were to roar so perfectly and amazingly, that I were to scare the living daylights out of the ladies, then they'd have no choice but to execute us. But I'll soften my voice, aggravate it, so to speak, so that I roar as gently as a baby dove. I'll roar like a sweet, peaceful nightingale.
You can't play any part except Pyramus, because Pyramus is a good-looking man, the most handsome man you could find on a summer's day. A lovely, gentlemanly man. So you're the only one who could play Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it. What beard were I best to play it in?
Whatever kind you want, I guess.
I could wear a sandy-colored beard or a red beard or maybe a yellow beard, the color of French coin.
Some French people don't have beards at all, because syphilis has made all their hair fall out. But, gentlemen, I beg you to please memorize your parts and have them ready by tomorrow night. We'll meet in the Duke's Forest a mile outside of town. It's best to rehearse there, because if we rehearse here, we'll be bothered by crowds of people and everyone would know the plot of our play. Meanwhile, I'll make a list of the props we'll need for the play. Now all of you better show up. Don't leave me in the lurch.
There we will meet, and may we rehearse most obscenely and courageously. Take pains, Be perfect. Audio.
We'll meet at the giant oak tree in the Duke's forest.
Got it? Be there or don't show your face again.
Come out, spirit. Whither wander you?
Over hill, over dale, through bush, through briar, over park, over pale, through flood, through fire. I do wander everywhere, swifter than the moon's sphere, and I serve the fairy queen, to do her orbs upon the green. The cowslips tall her pensioners be, in those gold coat spots you see. Those be rubies, fairy favors, in those spots live their savors. Now, I must go seek some dewdrops here and hang a pearl on every cowslip's ear. Farewell, thou lob of spirits, I'll be gone. Her queen and all her elves come here anon.
The king keeps his revels here tonight. Just make sure Queen Titania doesn't come anywhere near him, because King Oberon's extremely angry with her. Titania has stolen the most adorable boy from an Indian king, and Oberon's jealous. He wants the boy for himself to join him on his merry wanderings throughout the forest. And Titania refuses to give him up. Instead, she puts flowers in the boy's hair and makes a fuss over him. And now, Oberon refuses to speak to Titania, nor by the trees, nor by the rivers, and nor under the stars. And when they argue, the little fairies get so frightened that they hide in acorn cups and they won't come out.
Unless I'm mistaken, you're that mischievous and naughty spirit named Robin Goodfellow. Aren't you the one who goes around scaring the maidens in the village, stealing the cream from the top of the milk, frustrating housewives by keeping their milk from turning into butter? Aren't you the one who keeps beer from foaming up as it should and causes people to get lost at night while you laugh at them? Some people call you Hobgoblin and Sweet Puck. And you're nice to them. You do their work for them and give them good luck. That's you, right?
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I just do Oberon and make him smile, while I a fat bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in the likeness of a filly foal. Sometimes lurk I in a gossip's bowl, in the likeness of a roasted crab, and against her lips I bob and wither her dewlap for the ale. The wisest ant telling the saddest tale, sometimes a 3-foot stool mistaketh me. Then I slip from her bum and down topples she, and Taylor she cries, and hold her hips and laugh. The whole choir holds their hips and laugh, nor knees or swear. Not a merrier hour was wasted there. But room, spirit, here comes Oberon.
And here my mistress, would that he were gone.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What? Are you jealous, Oberon? Fairies, let's go. I forsworn his bed and company.
Wait just a minute, you brazen hussy. Aren't you supposed to obey me, your lord and husband?
If you're my lord and husband, I must be your lady and wife. So you're supposed to be faithful to me. But I know for a fact that you snuck away from fairyland disguised as a shepherd and spent all day playing straw pipes and singing love poems to your new girlfriend. The only reason you left India was to come here and see Hippolyta, because she was your mistress and warrior lover. And now that she's getting married to Theseus, you've come to celebrate their marriage.
How can you stand there shamelessly talking about me and Hippolyta when you know that I know about your love for Theseus? And weren't you the one who made him cheat on his girlfriend?
These are nothing but jealous lies. Since the beginning of Midsummer, my fairies and I haven't been able to meet in a hill or in a valley, by a pebbly fountain or a rushing stream, or on the beach by the ocean without you disturbing us. And so you disturb us, and we can't dance for them. The winds have made fogs rise up out of the sea and fall down on the rivers, so that the rivers flood, just to get revenge on you. So all the work that the oxen and farmers have done has been for nothing, because the unripe grain has rotted before it was even ripe. Sheep pens are empty in the middle of the flooded fields, and the crows get fat from eating all the dead bodies of the infected sheep. All the fields where people usually play games are filled with mud, and you can't even see the elaborate mazes they create in the grass anymore because no one walks in them. They've all grown over. It's not winter here for the mortals,
so they're not protected by the holy hymns and carols that they sing in the winter. So the pale, angry moon who controls the tides fills the air with diseases. And as a consequence of this bad weather and these bad moods, the seasons have started to change. Cold frost spread over red roses, and icy winter wears a crown of sweet summer flowers as some sick joke. Spring, summer, fertile autumn, and angry winter have all changed places, and now the confused world doesn't even know which is which. And this is because of our argument. We're responsible for this.
Why don't you do something about it then? You have the power to fix it. After all, why should Titania cross her Oberon? All I'm asking is to have that boy as a part of my crew.
Get over it! I won't give up this child for all of fairyland! His mother was one of my worshippers. We used to sit together at night at India, gossiping by the ocean, and watch the merchant ships sail on the ocean. We used to laugh to see the sails fill up with wind like they looked like they had big pregnant bellies, as if the wind had gotten them pregnant. And she would imitate them since she was already pregnant with the little boy. And she would also go sailing over the land and come back carrying little gifts and presents like she was a ship coming back from a voyage. But since she was mortal, she died giving birth to that boy. And for her sake, I am raising him and will not give him up.
Just how long do you plan to stay in the forest then?
Maybe until after Theseus's wedding day. If you behave yourself and join us in our circle and moonlight celebrations, then you can come with us. If not, leave me alone and I'll stay away from your turf.
Give me the boy and I'll go with you.
Not for your entire fairy kingdom, you... Fairies, let's go. We're going to have an out-and-out brawl if I stay any longer.
We'll go on your way then. You won't leave the grove until I paid you back for this insult. My dear Puck, come here. Do you remember the time when I was sitting on a cliff and heard a mermaid sing such a sweet and harmonious song that it calmed the stormy seas and made the stars shoot out of the sky so that they could hear her better?
I remember.
Well, that same night, I saw Cupid flying from the moon to the earth with all of his arrows ready. He took aim at a beautiful young virgin sitting on the throne in the western part of the world, and he shot his arrow of love well enough to have pierced 100,000 hearts. But Cupid's fiery arrow was put out by watery virginal moonbeams, so the royal virgin continued her virginal thoughts without being interrupted by thoughts of love. But I saw what happened to the arrow. It fell on a small western flower, which used to be as white as milk, but has since turned purple from being wounded by the arrow of love. If this flower's juice is put on someone's eyes while they're asleep, that person will fall in love with the next thing they see when they wake. Bring me the flower. I showed it to you once. And meet me ere the first cocks crow.
I'll put a girdle around the earth in 40 minutes.
Once I have the juice of this flower, I'll put some of it into Titania's eyes while she's asleep. Once the juice is in her eyes, she'll fall in love with the next thing she sees when she wakes. And ere I take the charm from her sight, as I can take with another herb, I'll make her give me that boy as my page. But who's that coming this way? I'll make myself invisible and listen to their conversation.
Look, I don't love you, so stop following me around. Now, where are Lysander and beautiful Hermia? Lysander I want to stop, but Hermia stops my heart from beating. You told me that they escaped into the forest, but here I am in the middle of the woods going crazy because I can't find my Hermia. Leave me alone, stop following me, and get out of here.
You attract me to you, you cruel magnet, but you must not attract iron because my heart is as true as steel. If you let go of your power to attract me, I won't have any power to follow you.
Do I ask you to follow me? Do I speak to you kindly? Do I not put it in the clearest of terms that I do not and cannot love you?
Yes, but that only makes me love you more. I'm your dog, Demetrius. The more you beat me, the more I'll love you. Treat me like you would treat a dog. Hit me, kick me, neglect me, try to lose me. Just let me follow behind you, even though I'm not good enough for you. Could I ask for a worse place in your heart than to be treated as you would treat a dog? And yet I would consider it an honor to be your dog.
Don't push it. Just looking at you makes me sick.
And I get sick when I can't look at you.
You're risking your reputation by leaving the city and stalking someone who doesn't love you. Standing alone in the middle of the night isn't the best way to protect your virginity.
I rely on your virtue to protect me. And because I can see your shining face, it doesn't seem like nighttime to me. The forest doesn't seem deserted when you're here because you are all the world to me. So how can anyone say that I'm alone when the whole world is here to look at me?
I'll run away and hide in the bushes, leaving you to the mercy of wild animals.
The wildest animal isn't as cruel as you are. Run wherever you want. The story of Daphne and Apollo will be changed. The lustful god Apollo runs away from the virginal nymph Daphne who pursues him. The dove chases after the griffin, which is usually its predator, and the gentle deer tries to hunt down the tiger. Speed is useless when a cowardly person chases and the brave person runs away.
I'm not sticking around to listen to this any longer. Leave me alone, stop following me, or if you do, you'd better understand that I'll do thee mischief in the woods.
Yes, you already hurt me in the church, in the town, and in the fields. Shame on you, Demetrius. Your behavior is an insult to all women. We cannot fight for love as men can. We were made to be pursued and courted. We weren't made to do the pursuing. I'll follow you and turn this hell I'm in into a kind of heaven. It would be heavenly to be killed by someone I love so much.
Farewell, nymph. By the time you leave this forest, he'll be the one in love with you, and you'll be the one running away. Here comes my messenger. Have you the flower there?
Aye, here it is.
Give it to me. I know a place where the wild thyme blows, where ox lips and the nodding violet grows, quite over canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and with eglantine. There sleeps Titania some time of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight. And there the snake throws her enameled skin, weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this I'll streak her eyes and make her dream of hateful fantasies. Take some of it and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it when the next thing he espies may be the lady. You shall know him by the Athenian garments he has on. Affect it with some care, so that he may prove more fond of her than she upon her love, and return ere the Leviathan consume a league.
Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
Come, dance in a circle and sing a fairy song, and then go off for a while to do your work. Some of you will kill the worms infesting the rosebuds, and some of you will fight the bats so we can get their leathery wings so we can make coats for my small elves. Some of you will keep that loud owl away, the one that hoots and wonders every night at us dainty fairies. Sing me to sleep now, then do your duties, and let me rest.
Spotted snakes with double tongue, thorny hedgehogs be not seen, newts and winebirds do no wrong. Come not near our fairy queen, Philomel with melody, singing our sweet lullaby. Lula lula lullaby, lula lula lullaby. Never harm nor spell nor charm, come lovely lady night. So good night with lullaby, lullaby. Eating spiders come not here, hence you long-legged spinners hence. Needles black approach not near, worm or seal do no offense. Philomel with melody, singing our sweet lullaby. Lula lula lullaby, lula lula lullaby. Never harm nor spell nor charm, come our lovely lady night. So good night with lullaby, lullaby.
Hence away, now all is well. One aloof stands sentinel.
what thou seest when thou dost wake, do it for thy true love take. Love and languish for his sake, be it ounce or cat or bear, pard or boar with bristled hair. In thy eye it shall appear, wake when some vile thing is near.
My love, it looks like you're going to faint from wandering in the woods for so long. And to tell you the truth, I think I've gotten us lost. We'll take a rest, if you think it's a good idea, and wait until daytime, when things will be easier.
Yes, Lysander, let's do that. You find something to cushion your head, and I'll lie there on that small slope.
We can both lie here on the grass. We'll have one heart, one bed, two bodies, and one faithful vow.
Lysander, please, don't lie so close to me. Rest a little further away, for my sake.
Oh, I didn't mean anything by that. When lovers talk to each other, their hearts should understand each other. I just meant that our two hearts are connected, so you can only almost think of them as one heart. Our two bodies are linked together by the promises we've made to each other. So we have two bodies and one faithful vow. So please, let me lie next to you. If I lie next to you, I won't lie to you. I'll be faithful and respect you.
Lysander has a way with words. It would certainly be rude and shameful if I had implied that you were a liar, but please, it's only proper for well-behaved bachelors and well-behaved young ladies to remain physically separated like this. But I hope your love for me remains this strong for our entire life.
I hope my life ends before my loyalty to you does. Sleep well.
You sleep well too.
I've searched through this entire forest all night, and I haven't found any Athenian man to use this stupid flower on. Wait a second. What's this? It's Athenian man. He's wearing Athenian clothes. This must be the guy that had rejected that Athenian girl. Here's the girl. Such a pretty girl. She shouldn't lie next to this cold and heartless man. Churl, upon thy eyes I throw all the charm this seat doth owe. When thou wakest, let love forbid sleep his seat on thy eyelid. But awake when I am gone, for I must now to Oberon.
Stop, Demetrius, stop, even if only to kill me.
I'm telling you, get out of here and stop following me around like this.
Oh, will you leave me alone in the dark? Don't.
Stay here at your own risk. I'm going on alone.
Oh, I'm out of breath from this foolish chase. The more I pray, the less I get out of it. Hermia is lucky wherever she is because she has beautiful eyes. How did her eyes get so bright? Not from crying. If that's the case, tears wash my eyes more than hers. No, I'm as ugly as a bear since animals that see me run away in terror. So it's no surprise Demetrius runs from me as if I were some kind of monster. What evil and deceitful mirror made me think I could rival Hermia's starry eyes? But who's this? Lysander? On the ground. Is he dead or sleeping? I don't see any injuries. Lysander, if you're alive, wake up.
I'd even run through fire if you told me to. Beautiful, radiant Helena, I feel like Mother Nature has allowed me to see into your heart, as if by magic. Where's Demetrius? I'd kill that name with my sword if I could!
Don't say that, Lysander, don't say that. Why do you care that he loves Hermia? What does it matter? Hermia still loves you, so be happy.
Happy? With Hermia? No, I regret all the time I wasted with her. I don't love Hermia. I love Helena. Who wouldn't love a dove over a buzzard? A man's desires are influenced by his logical mind, and it's only logical that you're more worthy of love than Hermia is. Fruits and vegetables don't ripen until the right season of year. Likewise, my sense of reason has just ripened. I can finally see the light. My logic has more control over my desires than it used to, and it's telling me to look into your eyes, where I see every love story ever told.
Why does everyone always make fun of me? What have I done to deserve this kind of treatment from you? Is it not enough? Is it not enough, young man, that I'll never be pretty enough to get a kind look from Demetrius? Do you have to harp on my inadequacy? My God, it's wrong for you to woo me in such a cruel and disdainful way. But goodbye, I have to admit I thought you were a much kinder person than this. How awful is it that a lady who has been rejected by one man should therefore be treated this horribly by another one?
She didn't see Hermia. Hermia, keep sleeping and don't ever come near me again. Eating too many sweets makes people sick to their stomachs. And people always hate the mistakes they make in the past, worse than anyone else does. Hermia, you're the sweet I've had too much of, and the mistake I used to make. So I hate you more than anyone else does. I'll use all of my talents and efforts to serve Helena and bring her honor.
Help me, please! Get this snake off my chest! Oh, what a terrible dream I just had. Oh, Lysander, I dreamed that there was a snake eating my heart and you just sat there smiling and watching. Lysander? Lysander, my love! If you can hear me, please say something. No response? Then I guess he's nowhere nearby. I'll find him or die right away.
Are we all met?
Right on time. This is the perfect place to rehearse. This clearing will be our stage, and this hawthorn bush will be our dressing room. Now let's put on the play exactly as we'll perform it for the Duke.
Peter Quince.
What is it, Jolly Bottom?
There are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will never work. First of all, Pyramus has to draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies in the audience won't be able to stand. What should we do about that?
By God, that's a real problem. It's true. Come to think of it, I think we'll have to leave out all of the killing.
No, just write me a prologue and let the prologue seem to say that we will do no harm with our swords and that Pyramus is not killed indeed. And, for the much better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus at all, but in fact, Bottom the Weaver. This will put them out of fear.
All right, we'll have a prologue then. I'll write it in alternating 8 and 6 syllable lines, just like in a ballad.
No, make it 2 more. Make it 8 and 8.
Won't the ladies be scared of the lion? I'm really worried about that.
My sirs, you've got to think amongst yourselves, God forbid, bringing in a lion is a truly terrible thing. There's no scarier wild bird than the living lion, and we should do well to remember that.
So we need another prologue to tell everyone he's not a real lion, or...
No, I think we can just announce the actor's name and let his face show through the costume. He should come out and say this or something else to the same effect. Ladies, or lovely ladies, I would like to ask you, or I would like to request you, or I would like to beg you not to be afraid and not to tremble with fear. I value your lives as highly as my own. If you had thought I were a real lion, I would be risking my own life. But no, I am a man, as are other men. And then he should say his name and tell them plainly that he's Snug the Joiner.
All right, that's what we'll do then. But there are still 2 things we need to figure out. How are we going to bring moonshine into the room? Because, as you know, Pyramus and Thisbe meet by moonlight.
Will the moon be shining on the night we perform our play?
A calendar, look in the almanac. Here, find out moonshine.
Yes, the moon will shine that night.
Well then, we can just leave a window open in the great hall where we'll be performing, and the moon can shine in through that window.
Yes, or else we can have someone come in carrying a bundle of sticks and a lantern and say he's come to disfigure or represent the character of Moonshine, because the man in the moon carries a bundle of sticks and a lantern. But there's still one more problem. How are we going to bring a wall in the Great Hall? Because, according to the story, Pyramus and Thisbe talked through a little hole in the wall.
We'll never be able to bring in a wall. What do you think, Bottom?
Someone should play the part of wall. He can have some clay or plaster or limestone on him to show the audience that he's a wall, and he can hold his fingers, in a V shape like this. And Pyramus and Thisbe can speak to each other through that very crack.
If we can do that, everything will be all right. And now run through your parts, everybody. Pyramus, you start. When you finish your lines, go hide in that bush. Everyone else, go there too when you're not on stage.
Why are all these country bumpkins swaggering around so close to where our fairy queen is sleeping? What? They're putting on a little play. All right, I'll watch. Maybe even act in it too if I feel like.
Pyramus, speak. Thisbe, come forward.
Thisbe, thy flowers odious savors sweet.
Odors! Odors!
Odors savors sweet. Hath thy breath, my dear Thisbe dear. But hark, a voice. Stay thou but here a while, and by I will to thee appear.
That's the strangest Pyramus I've ever seen.
Am I supposed to speak?
Yes, you are. You're supposed to show that you understand that Pyramus just went to check in a noise he heard, and he'll be right back.
Most radiant Pyramus, most lily white of hue, of color like the red rose on triumphant briar? Most brisky juvenile and eke most lovely Jew. As truest horse that yet would never tire. I'll meet thee, Pyramus, at Ninny's tomb.
That's Ninnis's tomb, man! And don't say all that yet. You're supposed to say some of it as a reply to Pyramus. You just said all your lines at once, cues and all. And Pyramus, come forward! You missed your cue. It's never tire.
As truest horse that yet would never tire. If I were handsome, my lovely Thisbe, I would still want only you.
Run! We're being haunted! It's a monster!
I'll follow you through bog, through bush, through brake, through briar. Sometimes a horse I'll be, a hound, a hog, a headless bear, and I'll neigh and roar and bark and bork like horse, hound, fire at every turn.
Why are they running away? This is some trick of theirs to fool me.
Oh, Bottom! You've changed! What have you got in your head?
What do you see, huh? You see an asset of your own, do you? Huh?
God bless you, Bottom! You've changed! Reborn!
I see what they're up to. They're trying to scare me, to make an ass of me if they can. Oh, but no! I'm not going to leave this spot, no matter what they do. I'll walk up and down and sing a song to myself so that they know that I'm not afraid. The ozel cock so black of hue, with orange tawny bill, the throstle with his note so true, the wren with little quill.
What angel awakes me from my flowery bed?
The finch, the sparrow, and the lark, the plain song cuckoo gray, whose note full many a man doth mark, and dares not answer nay. Of course he doesn't say no. Who'd waste his time talking to such a stupid bird? Who'd bother to accuse a bird of lying, even if the bird were telling him that his wife was cheating on him?
Oh, I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. My ear is enamored to thy note, so is my eye enthralled to thy shape, and thy fair virtues force perforce doth move me, on first you to say, to swear, I love thee.
I don't think you've got much of a reason to love me, but then again, love and reason have very little to do with each other nowadays. Maybe a mutual friend of theirs could introduce them. I'm kidding.
You are as wise as you are beautiful. You take the words away from me.
Oh, I'm not that smart, my dear, but if I were smart enough to get out of this forest, I'd be wise enough to satisfy myself.
Don't bother wishing you could leave this forest, because you're going to stay here whether you want to or not. I'm no ordinary fairy. I rule over the summer, and I love you, so come with me. I'll give you fairies as servants, and they'll bring you jewels from the depths of the ocean and sing to you while you sleep on a bed of flowers. I'll even make you immortal like us so you don't die as normal, boring humans do. Come here, peas, blossom, cobweb, moth, and mustard seed. Here.
Me too.
Me too. Me too. Be kind and polite to this gentleman. Follow him around, leap and dance for him. Feed him apricots, green figs, mulberries, and grapes. Steal honey from the bumblebees and make candles out of their wax. Light them with the light of glowworms so my love has light when he goes to bed and wakes up. Pluck off colorful butterfly wings to fan moonbeams away from his eyes as he sleeps. Bow to him, fairies, and curtsy to him.
Hello, mortal.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
I beg your pardon, sirs. What's your name, sir?
I'm Peas Blossom.
Good Mr. Please Blossom, please give my regards to your father, Mr. Peapod, and your mother, Mrs. Peapod. I look forward to getting to know you better too, Mr. Peas Blossom. And you, sir?
Cobweb.
Good Mr. Cobweb, I look forward to getting to know you better too. If I cut my finger, I'll use you as a bandage to stop the bleeding. And you, sir?
Mustard seed.
Good Mr. Mustard Seed! Oh, I know you very well! Those cowardly, gigantic sides of beef are responsible for many of your family members getting eaten as a condiment. I swear, Mr. Mustard Seed, many members of your mustard family have made my eyes water before. I look forward to getting to know you better, too.
Come, wait upon him, lead him to my bower. The moon, methinks, with watery eye, and when she weeps, weeps every little flower, lamenting some enforced chastity. Tie up my love's tongue and bring him silently.
I wonder if Titania's awake yet. And if she is, I wonder what the first thing she saw was. Well, whatever it was, I'm sure she's completely in love with it now. Here comes my messenger, Robin. What havoc have you wreaked in this part of the forest?
My mistress Titania's in love with a monster. While she was sleeping in her bed of flowers, a group of bumbling idiots, rough workmen from Athens, came by to rehearse some play they planned to perform on Theseus' nuptial day. The stupidest one, who played Pyramus in their play, just finished his scene and went in the bushes to wait for his next cue. I took that opportunity to stick a donkey's head on him. When it was time for sweet Pyramus to talk to his beloved Thisbe, he came out of the bushes and everyone saw him. His friends scattered faster than ducks when they hear the sound of a hunter's gunshot. I led them on this frightened and distracted state, and one of them was so afraid when he heard my footsteps, he cried murder and ran all the way to Athens. And we left sweet Pyramus there. And at that moment, Titania waked and straightway loved an ass.
This is going even better than I'd planned. But if you put the flower's juice on the eyes of the Athenian, as I asked you to do?
Yes, and the Athenian girl was right next to him, so when he woke, he must have seen her.
Step aside. Here's that Athenian coming now.
That's definitely the woman I saw, but that's not the same man.
Why do you treat someone who loves you so much, so badly? Save that kind of harsh language for your worst enemy.
I'm only scolding you now, but I should treat you much worse. I'm afraid you've given me good reason to curse you. If you killed Lysander, then you're already up to your ankles in blood. You might as well jump right into a bloodbath and kill me too. Lysander was as faithful to me as the sun is to the daytime. Would he have left me while I was sleeping? I'll believe that when I believe there's a hole in the center of the earth and the moon has passed through to the other side. The only possibility is that you have murdered him. A murderer should look like you do, so pale and grim.
That's how someone who's been murdered should look, and that's how I look. You've pierced me through the heart with your cruelty, and yet you, the murderer, look as bright and clear as a star in the night sky.
What does that have to do with my Lysander? Oh, good Demetrius, will you help me find him?
I'd rather feed his corpse to my dogs.
Get out, dog! You've driven me to my wit's end. Oh, just tell the truth for once. Tell the truth. If only for my sake. Would you have even dared to look at him when he was awake? Oh, and did you kill him while he was sleeping? Oh, how brave of you! A snake could do that as easily as you could. A snake did do it because no snake ever had a more forked, lying tongue than you have.
You're getting all worked up over a misunderstanding. I didn't kill Lysander, and as far as I know, he's not even dead.
Then please tell me he's all right.
If I told you that, what would I get out of it?
The pleasure of never seeing me again. And now I'm going to leave your despised company. You'll never see me again, whether or not he's dead.
I can't go after her when she's in a rage like this, so I'll stay here for a while. Sadness gets worse when you haven't had enough sleep, so I'll try and lie down and get some rest.
What have you done? You've put the flower's juice on someone else's eyes. Therefore, someone's true love must have turned into a false love, instead of this man's false love being turned into a true one.
In that case, it must be fate. For every one man who falls for his true love, a million fall for another lover.
Go about the wood and seek Helena of Athens. Her face is pale from all the sighing she's been doing, because sighing is bad for the blood. Bring her here with some trick or illusion, and I'll ready the flower for him when she comes.
I go. Look how I go. Swifter than the arrow of Tartar's bow.
Flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archery, sink an apple of his eye. When his love he doth espy, let her shine as gloriously as Venus of the sky. When he wakes, if she be by, beg of her for remedy.
My lord, the one who for I mistook as Demetrius is here too, and Helena is with him. Shall we watch this ridiculous scene? Lord, what fools these mortals be.
Let's step aside. The noise they're making will wake Demetrius.
Then they'll both pursue one girl. That would be preposterous enough. And after all, preposterous situations are my favorite thing.
Why do you think I'm making fun of you when I swear that I love you? People don't cry when they're mocking someone. Look, when I swear that I love you, I cry. And when someone cries while he's making a promise, he's usually telling the truth. So how can it seem like I'm making fun of you when my tears prove I'm sincere?
You get trickier and trickier. You've made the same promises to me and to Hermia. They can't both be true. They must both be false. The promises you're making to me belong to Hermia. Will you abandon her? If you weighed the promises you're making to me against the promises you've made to her, they would come out the same. They both weigh nothing. They're lies.
I wasn't thinking clearly when I made those promises to her.
And I don't believe you're thinking clearly now as you break those promises.
Demetrius loves her, and he doesn't love you.
Oh, Helena, you goddess, you divine and perfect nymph, what can I compare your eyes to? Crystals aren't as clear as they are. Oh, and your lips are as ripe and tempting as a pair of cherries touching each other. The pure white snow on a mountaintop seems black as a crow's wing compared to the whiteness of your hand. Oh, Helena, let me kiss your beautiful white hand. It would make me so happy.
Oh, spite of hell! I see you're all determined to gang up on me for a few laughs. If you had any manners at all, you wouldn't treat me like this. Can't you just hate me, as I know you do? Do you have to get together to humiliate me too? If you were real men, as you pretend to be, you wouldn't treat a lady this way, making vows and promises and praising my beauty when I know you're both really disgusted by me. You're competing for Hermia's love, and now you're competing to see which one of you can make fun of me the most. Oh, that's a great idea, a really manly thing to do, making a poor girl cry. No respectable person would offend an innocent girl just to have some fun.
Don't be cruel, Demetrius. I know you love Hermia. Right here, right now, I'm giving up all my claim on her and handing her to you. In exchange, give up your claim to love Helena, since I do, and will until the day I die.
No one's ever gone to so much trouble just to make fun of someone.
Lysander, keep your Hermia. I don't want her. If I ever loved her, that love was temporary. Now, the only person I'll ever love is Helena.
Helena, it's not true.
Don't insult a deep love that you don't understand, or you'll pay the price for it.
Lysander?
Look, here comes the woman you love.
Oh, hello, Lysander. It's hard to see in the dark, but it's easier to hear well. I heard your voice, and that's how I found you. Why did you leave me alone so unkindly?
Why stay when love tells you to go?
But what love could make my Lysander leave me?
I had to hurry to my love, beautiful Helena, who lights up the sky more than all those stars. Why did you come after me? Didn't you realize that I left you because I hate you?
You can't mean what you're saying. It's impossible.
So she's in on this too. Now I see that all three of them have gotten together to play this cruel trick on me. Hurtful Hermia, you ungrateful girl. Have you conspired with these two to provoke me with this horrible teasing? Have you forgotten all the talks we had together, the vows we made to be like sisters to one another, all the hours we spent together, wishing that we never had to say goodbye? Have you forgotten our friendship and our school days, our childhood innocence? We used to sit together and sew one flower with our 2 needles, sewing it onto one piece of cloth, sitting on one cushion, singing one song in the same key, as if our hands, our sides, our voices, and our minds were stuck together. We grew together like twin cherries, which seemed separate but were also together, 2 lovely cherries on one stem. We seemed to have 2 separate bodies, but we had one heart. Do you wish to destroy our old friendship by joining in these men to insult your poor friend? It's not friendly and it's not ladylike. All women would be angry with you for doing it, even though I'm the only one who was hurt by it.
I'm amazed at your passionate words, but I do not scorn you, Helena. It seems that you scorn me.
Come on, confess. Didn't you send Lysander as an insult to follow me around praising my eyes and my face? And haven't you made your other love, Demetrius, who kicked me with his foot not long ago, call me a goddess and a divine, rare, precious heavenly creature? Why does he talk like that to a girl he can't stand? And why does Lysander deny that he loves you when he loves you so deeply? Why should he show me any affection unless you told him to? What does it matter that I'm not as lucky or lovable as you are, that the love I feel is unrequited? You should pity me for that reason, not hate me.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
All right, go on, keep up your little game, pretend to be sympathetic and then nudge and wink at each other and make faces at me when I turn my back. Keep up your wonderful game. You're doing such a good job of this trick, someone should write a book about it. If you had any sense of pity or manners, you wouldn't pretend to fight over me like this. But goodbye. I admit it's partly my own fault since I followed you here. Leaving or dying will soon take care of everything.
No, stay, lovely Helena. Listen to my excuse. My love, my life, my soul, beautiful Helena.
That's a good one.
Don't insult her like that, Lysander.
If Hermia's begging can't stop you, then I can force you to do so.
You can't force me any more than Hermia can beg me. Your threats are no stronger than her whining. Helena, I love you. I swear I do. I'll give my life for you, just to prove this man wrong when he says I don't love you.
I say that I love you more than he does.
If that's what you say, go fight a duel with me about it and prove it.
You're on. Let's do it.
Lysander, where are you going?
Stop hanging on me, you hag.
No. He'll act like he's going to break free from you. Act like you're going to follow me, and then you don't. You're a coward. Get out of here.
Lysander.
Get away, you cat, you thorn. Get off, or I'll shake you off like a snake.
Why have you grown so rude, my love?
Your love? Get out, you shriveled turnip. Get out, you horrible poison. Get out.
You must be joking.
Of course he is, and so are you.
Demetrius, I'm ready to fight you as promised.
I wish I'd signed a legal contract, because I can see that you don't keep your promises. I don't trust you.
What? Do you want me to hit Hermia? Hurt her? Kill her? Sure, I hate her, but I wouldn't hurt her.
How can you hurt me any more than by saying that you hate me? Hate me? Why? Am I not Hermia? Are you not Lysander? I'm as beautiful now as I was a little while ago. When we went to sleep, you loved me, but when you woke up, you left me. So you left me, by the gods forbid, in earnest?
I certainly did, and I never wanted to see you again. So stop hoping and wondering what I mean. I spell it out for you clearly. I hate you and love Helena.
You trickster! You thief of love! What, have you come in the middle of the night and stolen my love's heart from him?
Oh, that's very nice. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're going to make me mad enough to answer you. Damn you, you faker, you puppet.
Puppet? Why puppet? Oh, I get it. She's talking about our difference in height. Does he hold you in such high regard because you're so tall and I'm so short? Well, tell me, how short am I, you painted barber pole? How short am I? I'm not too short to gouge your eyes out with my fingernails.
Please don't let her hurt me, gentlemen, however much you want to tease me. I was never much good with insults. I'm not mean and catty like her. I'm a nice, shy girl. Please don't let her hit me. Maybe because you think that she's shorter than I am that I can take her.
She's doing it again!
Good Hermia, please don't act so bitter towards me. I've always loved you, Hermia, and gave you advice. I never did anything to hurt you except once when I told Demetrius that you planned to sneak off into this forest. And I only told him because I loved him so much. He followed you, and I followed him because I loved him. But then he told me to get lost and threatened to hit me, kick me, even kill me. So now just let me go quietly back to Athens. I'll carry my mistakes back with me. Please, just let me go.
Go on then. What's keeping you here?
My stupid heart, which I am leaving behind here.
What, with Lysander?
No, with Demetrius.
Don't worry, Helena. She can't hurt you.
That's right. Hermia can't hurt Helena, even if you try to help her.
Oh, when you get her angry, she's a good fighter. And vicious, too. She was a hellcat in school. And she's fierce, even though she's little.
Little! Again, nothing but little! And short! Why are you letting her talk to me like this? Let me at her!
Get away, you dwarf! You tiny little weed! You scrap! You acorn!
You're doing too much to defend a woman who wants nothing to do with you. Leave Hermia alone. Don't talk about Helena. Don't take Helena's side. And if you keep treating Hermia so badly, you'll pay the price for it.
Hermia's not holding on to me anymore. Follow me if you're brave enough and we'll fight over Helena.
Follow? No, I'll walk right next to you, side by side.
All this fighting is because of you. Stay where you are.
I'm not sticking around here any longer. I don't trust you. You might be a better fighter than I am, but my legs are longer and I can run away faster.
I'm amazed and I don't know what to say.
This is all your fault. You make mistakes constantly, else you cause this kind of trouble on purpose.
Believe me, King of Illusions, I mistook. But did thou not tell me I would know the man by the Athenian garments he hath on? So I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I put the flower in an Athenian man's eyes, and so far I like the way things have turned out. All this commotion is quite entertaining.
As you can see, these lovers are looking for a place to fight. Quickly, Robin, make the night dark and cloudy, and fill the sky with a low-hanging fog. Imitate Lysander's voice and egg Demetrius on. Then rant for a while in Demetrius' voice and egg Lysander on. That way, you'll get them so completely lost that they'll be exhausted and sleep like the dead. Once they're asleep, pour some of this flower's juice into Lysander's eyes. This flower has the power to make him see normally as he once did. Once they wake, they'll remember tonight's events as nothing more than a meaningless vision or a dream. Then the lovers will go back to Athens, united until death. While you're doing that, I'll go find Queen Titania and make her give me the Indian boy. After that, I'll remove the curse that made her fall in love with that monster, and all will be peaceful.
We've got to act fast, my lord. Dawn is approaching.
Don't delay. We still have plenty of time.
Up and down, up and down. I will lead them up and down. I'm feared through the valleys in the town. Up and down, up and down. Goblin shall lead them up and down. Here comes one now.
Where are you, Demetrius? Say something!
I'm over here. Where are you?
I'm coming!
I got my sword, ready to fight. Where are you?
I'm coming!
Come follow my voice. This isn't a good place to fight.
Where are you, Lysander? You coward? Are you hiding in these bushes? Where are you?
I'm over here, you coward. Are you bragging to the stars and to the bushes saying you're gonna fight me but you won't come out and fight me? I ought to fight with a stick. It'd be shameful to fight with a sword the way I do a real man. Where are you?
Are you there?
Follow my voice. We need a flatter area to fight.
He keeps calling for me, begging for me to follow him. And when I reach the place he's calling from, he disappears. His villain is much quicker than I am. I run after him fast, but he runs away faster. So now that I'm here, in some dark part of the woods, the ground is uneven, I'll rest. I hope the pleasant daytime comes soon. As soon as the gray light of early morning appears, I'll find Demetrius and get my revenge for this insult.
Ha ha ha! Where are you?
Are you afraid of me? I know that's why you're running away from me, constantly changing places. You're afraid to stop and face me. Where are you?
I'm over here! Come here!
No, you're just taunting me. But I'm exhausted. Go wherever you want now. I need to get some rest on this cold, hard ground. But watch out. I'll find you at dawn.
Oh, what a tedious, long, and exhausting night this has been. I wish it would end. I wish the light of day would come so I could find my way back to Athens and get away from these people who hate me so much. I hope that I can sleep and escape my troubles for a while. People often forget their difficulties when they're asleep.
Only 3 so far. 2 of both kind make 4. Ah, here she comes now, all angry and sad. Cupid is a knavish lad for making a young girl go crazy like this.
I've never been so upset in my life. I'm torn up by briars and wet with dew. I just can't go on any longer. My legs can't hold themselves up. I'll lay here for the night, and I hope if they fight that Demetrius is okay. That Lysander is okay.
On the ground, sleep sound, gentle lover. I will cure your eye with this remedy. When thou wakest, thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye. In the old country proverb known, each man shall take his own. Jack shall have Jill, and naught shall go ill. Each man shall have his mare again, and all shall be well.
Come, sit on this flowery bed while I caress those lovable cheeks. I'll put roses on your silky smooth head and kiss your big, beautiful ears, my gentle darling.
Where's Monsieur Peas Blossom?
Oh, I'm here.
Monsieur Peas Blossom, scratch my head. Where's Monsieur Cobweb?
Here.
Monsieur Cobweb, get out your finest weapons and kill me a striped bumblebee on a thistle and bring me its honey. Oh, don't tire yourself out, Monsieur. Oh, and Monsieur, one more thing. Be careful not to break the honey sack. I hate to see you drowned in honey, sir. Where's Monsieur Mustard Seed?
Here.
Oh, give me your first good mustard seed. Stop bowing, please.
What would you like me to do?
Nothing, Sir Mustard Seed, except to help Sir Peas Blossom scratch my head. You know, I've been getting a little hairy around the face, and I'm such a sensitive ass that if my hair tickles me even a little, I need to scratch.
Would you like to hear some music, my sweet love?
You know, I have a pretty good ear for music. Let's hear the tongue and the bones.
Or tell me, my sweet love, what would you like to eat?
You know, I could go for a handful of dried oats, or maybe ooh, you know what I'd like? A bottle of hay, a nice smooth bottle of hay. There's nothing like hay, you know, really fine hay.
I have an adventurous fairy who will seek out the squirrel's secret stash to bring you some fresh nuts.
Oh, I'd rather have a handful of dried peas. Now, let your attendants leave me. I have an exposition of sleep come upon me.
Go to sleep now. I will wrap my arms around you. Fairies, go away. Run off in all different directions. I'm wrapping my arms around you just like the sweet vine tendril twists itself around the honeysuckle, or like the female ivy curls itself around the elm tree. Oh, how I love you. I'm so crazy about you.
Welcome, good Robin. Do you see this sweet sight? Now I'm starting to pity Titania for being so infatuated. You see, I ran into her recently at the edge of the forest, looking for presents for this hateful idiot. She found a wreath of fresh, fragrant flowers, and the dewdrops I collected on the flowers make them look like they were crying to be decorating the head of such an ugly jackass. Once I had taunted her enough, and she begged me very nicely to stop, I asked her for the Indian boy. She said yes right away and sent a fairy to take him to my home in fairyland. Now that I have the boy, I shall undo the spell that makes her sight so hideously wrong. And gentle Puck, remove the transformed ass's head off of the head of the Athenian man, so that when he wakes up at the same time as the rest of them do, they can all return to Athens. But first, I'll release the fairy queen from her spell. Be as thou wast wont to be, see as thou wast wont to see. Dian's bud or Cupid's flower hath such force and blessed power. Now, Titania, wake you, my sweet queen.
Oberon, I've had such a strange dream. I dreamed I was in love with an ass.
There lies your love.
Oh, how did this happen? Oh, I hate looking at its face now. What's wrong with its
Be
face?
quiet for a while. Puck, remove the ass's head off of the Athenian man. And Titania, now that you and I are friends again, we can go dance for Duke Theseus, bless his marriage and his marriage bed. Let us wander the earth, circling it faster than the wandering moon.
While we're walking, can you tell me how you ended up sleeping on the ground with mortals last night?
One of you go find the forest ranger. Since we finished with the May Day rites and it's still early in the morning, my love will have the chance to hear the beautiful music of my hunting dogs chasing their prey. Release them in the Western Valley. No, go. Find the forest ranger. My beautiful queen, we'll go on top of the mountain and listen as the barking of my hounds echoes off the cliffs and sounds like music.
I was with the heroes Hercules and Cadmus once, when their Spartan hunting dogs had cornered a bear. I'd never heard such impressive barking before. The forests, the skies, the mountains, everything around us seemed to echo the barks of the hounds. I'd never heard such a ruckus music, such pleasant thunder.
Judge for yourself when you hear them. But wait, who are these women?
My lord, this is my daughter sleeping on the ground, and this is Demetrius, and that's Lysander, and this is Helena, old Netter's daughter. I don't understand what they're doing here together.
They probably got up early to celebrate May Day when they'd heard I'd be here for the celebration. But tell me, Aegeus, isn't today the day when Hermia must decide whether she'll marry Demetrius or not?
It is, my lord.
Tell the hunters to go blow their horns and wake them up. Good morning, my friends. Valentine's Day is over. Tell me, are you lovers really starting to pair up now?
Forgive us, my lord.
Stand up, all of you. Now, I know you two are enemies. Has the world really become such a gentle and peaceful place that two people who hate each other have started to trust each other enough to sleep next to each other without being afraid?
My lord, forgive me when I say this, for I'm still half asleep and half awake. I want to tell you the truth. And now that I think about it, I think this is true. I came here with Hermia. We were planning to leave Athens to escape the Athenian law. And
Enough! Enough, my lord. You've heard enough evidence. I demand the law punish him. Demetrius, they were trying to defeat us, rob you of your wife and me of my fatherly right to decide who my daughter will marry.
My lord, the beautiful Helena told me about their secret plan to escape into the forest. I was furious, and so I decided to follow them. And the lovely Helena was so in love with me that she followed me. And I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but something made my love for Hermia melt away like snow. My past love for her seems like a memory of an old toy that I used to love as a child. Now, I love Helena. I long for her, and I will always be true to her. I was engaged to her before I ever met Hermia. Then I hated her for a time, as a sick person hates the food he once loved. But now I've recovered, and I have my natural taste back. Now I want Helena. I love her, I long for her, and I will always be true to her.
You pretty lovers are lucky you met me here. Aegeus, I'm overruling your wishes. These lovers will be married alongside me and Hippolyta in the temple later today.
Lysander!
But now, since the morning is almost over, we'll give up on the idea of hunting. We three couples will go back to Athens and celebrate with a sumptuous feast. Come, Hippolyta.
What exactly just happened? The events of last night seem strange and far off, like mountains that look like clouds in the distance.
It's like I'm seeing everything, and it's like I'm seeing everything double.
Me too. I won Demetrius so easily, as if he were a precious diamond I just found lying around. It's mine because I found it, but I feel as though someone could easily come and claim it like it was hers.
Are you sure we're still awake? It feels to me like we're still dreaming, like we're still asleep. Was the Duke here? Did he ask us to follow him?
Yes, he did. My father was here too.
And Hippolyta.
And they told us to follow them to the temple.
Well, then, we better get going. We can tell one another our dreams along the way.
Wake me when my next line comes. My next cue is most handsome Pyramus. Peter Quits? Flute the bellows maker? Starveling? Snout the tinker? My God, they've all run away and left me here. What a strange dream I had. I thought I had... No, you don't want to hear what kind of dream I've had. I'd be an ass if I even attempted to explain it. No heart has felt, no eye has tasted, no tongue has described, no ear has seen the kind of dream that I've had. I'll tell it to Peter Quince and have him write it down as a ballad, and I'll sing it for the Duke at the intermission of our play, or to make it more lovely, when the heroine dies.
Have you sent anyone to Bottom's house? Has he come home yet?
No one's heard from him. I'm sure he's been kidnapped.
If he doesn't show up, the play is ruined. The show won't go on, will it?
No, it would be impossible. He's the only man in Athens who can play Pyramus.
He's quite the smartest working man in Athens.
Yes, and the best looking too. And his voice is the paramour of sweetness.
You mean paragon. A paramour is something bad.
The Duke's leaving the temple. 2 or 3 more lords and ladies are married too. If we'd been able to put on our play, we would have had it made.
Oh, that's great. Funny guy, Bottom. He would have gotten a pension of 6 pence a day. 6 pence a day would have been forced on him. I'll be damned if the Duke gave him 6 pence a day. He would have, for playing Pyramus, he would have deserved it too. Pyramus is worth 6 pence a day, or it's worth nothing.
Where are my friends? Where are my good fellows?
Oh, Bottom, what a relief it is to see you.
Oh, my friends, I have some amazing things to tell you, but don't ask me what. I swear on my Athenian citizenship that I won't say a thing. I'll tell you everything.
Tell us,
exactly
Bottom!
what happened. No. I won't say a word. All I'll tell all of you is that the Duke has had dinner already. Now it's time to get our costumes together, find some good strings for tying on your false beards, and get some new ribbons to decorate your shoes. Look over your lines again, and meet me at the palace as soon as possible. Remember, we're putting on this play for the Duke. So make sure Thisbe has clean underwear, and whoever's playing the lion, make sure that your nails are long and sharp to look like lion's claws. And no one need any onions or garlic. If we have sweet-smelling breath, I'm sure that they'll say, "Oh, it's a sweet play." Now, no more talking. Get busy. Go!
These lovers are saying some strange things, Theseus.
Yes, strange and totally made up too. I'll never believe any of these old legends or fairy tales. Lovers and madmen hallucinate about such things that sane people simply can't understand. Some people think they see devils and monsters everywhere, and they're lunatics. Lovers are just as crazy. They think a gypsy is the most beautiful woman in the world, and poets are always looking around like they're having a fit, confusing the mundane with the otherworldly. All of these people have such strong imaginations that if they feel happy, they think some god or otherworldly being brings that happiness to them. Or if they're afraid at night, they look at a shrubbery and imagine it's a wild bear.
Yes, but the stories that these lovers are telling, and the fact that they all saw and heard the same things, makes me think that there's more going on here than just plain imaginary fantasies. Their story is bizarre and astounding, but it's solid and consistent.
Here come the lovers, laughing happily. I wish you joy, my friends. I hope the days ahead are full of joy for you.
And we wish even more joy upon you, and hope joy follows you on your royal walks, at your royal table, and in your royal bed.
Now, what entertainment has been prepared for the evening? What plays, what music? Where's the entertainment director? What plays are we to enjoy while we wait in torture for bedtime to come? Let me see Phyllis straight.
Here I am, Theseus.
What entertainment have you prepared for the evening? What plays, what music? What are we to enjoy while we wait for bedtime?
Here is a list of all of the acts that have been prepared. Choose which one you want to see first.
The battle between Hercules and the centaurs, to be sung by an Athenian eunuch and accompanied by a harp. No, I've already told that story to Hippolyta while praising my cousin Hercules. The riots of the drunk bacchanals as they tear the singer Orpheus to shreds. That's an old show. I saw that last time I came back from conquering Thebes. The 9 Muses mourning the death of literature and scholarship. That's a sharp critical satire, not appropriate for a wedding. A tedious short drama of a young Pyramus and his lover Thisbe, a sad and tragic comedy. Short was tedious, a sad comedy? That's like hot ice and strange snow. How can this play be so many contradictory things?
It's a play about 10 words long, which is the shortest play I've ever heard of, but in my opinion, it's 10 words too long. That's why it's tedious. In the entire thing, not one word is well written, and not one of the actors is right for his part.
Who are the actors?
Rough workmen from Athens who never spent much time thinking. Now they've worn out their out-of-shape brains to put on this play for your wedding.
So let's see it.
No, my lord. This play is not for you. I have seen the entire thing, and it is completely worthless. Unless you think they're bad acting and their misremembered lines, which were memorized so painfully, are funny.
I'll watch this play. Nothing can really be so bad when it's put on by simple people who try hard. Let them come in, and sit down, ladies.
I don't like seeing poor people overburdened or looking bad when they're trying to do something good.
You won't see any of that, sweetheart.
She just said that they're no good at acting.
Then we're even kinder people for accepting them for something that they're not good at. When poor, dutiful people can't do certain things right, generous people can consider the effort they put into it rather than the effect they produce. In my travels, great scholars have come up to me, meaning to greet me with well-rehearsed welcoming speeches, and I have seen them cut off abruptly in the middle of their sentences, botch their well-rehearsed tones of voice, and break off at the end without actually welcoming me. But I figured out that they were trying to welcome me, and that was clear from someone who was modest and nervously dutiful, as it is from someone who is loud and audacious and eloquent. Therefore, love and tongue-tied simplicity can say the most, even when it's saying the least, in my opinion.
Your Grace, the person who is going to deliver the prologue is ready.
Let him come in.
If we offend, it is with our goodwill, that you should think we come not to offend, but with goodwill, to show our simple skill. That is the true beginning of our end. Consider then, we come but in despite. We do not come as minded to contest you. Our true intent is all for your delight. We are not here that you should hear repent you. The actors are at hand, and by their show, you should know all that you are like to know.
This guy doesn't pay much attention to punctuation.
He wrote that prologue like a wild horse. He didn't know how to stop it. The moral of this story is that it's not enough to speak. You have to speak grammatically.
Yes, he performed that prologue like a child plays a recorder. He could make noises, but they were out of control.
His speech was like a tangled chain. It went on and made no sense. Who's next?
Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show, but wonder on till truth makes all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you should know. This beauteous lady Thisbe is certain. This man with lime and rough cast doth present wall, that vile wall through which these lovers did sunder, and through wall's chink, poor souls they did content to whisper at the which let no man wonder. This man with lime and rough cast, with lanthorn dog and bush of thorn presenteth moonshine, for if you will know, by moonshine did these lovers think no scorn, there to woe. This grisly beast which lion hight by name, the trusty Thisbe coming first by night, did scare away, or rather did affright. And as she fled, her mantle she did fall, which lion vile with bloody mouth did stain. Anon comes Pyramus, sweet youth and tall, and finds his trusty Thisbe's mantle slain. Whereat with bloody blameful blade, did he bravely broach his goyle and bloody blade. Breast and Thisbe, tarrying in mulberry shade, drew his dagger and died for all the rest. Let lion, moonshine wall, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here they do remain.
I wonder if the lion's going to talk.
It wouldn't surprise me, my lord. If these idiots can speak, then why can't he?
In the same interlude, it doth befall that I, one snout, present a wall. And such a wall as I would have you think that had in it a crannied hole or chink, through which the fearful lovers, Pyramus and Thisbe, did whisper often very secretly. In this loam, this rough cast, in a stone doth show that I am that same wall. The truth is so. And this is the cranny, right and sinister, through which the fearful lovers are to whisper.
Can you imagine cement and stone talking better?
He's the smartest partition I've ever heard speak, my lord.
Be quiet. Pyramus is approaching the wall.
Oh, grim looked night. Oh, night with hue so black. Oh, night which ever art when day is not. Oh, night, alack, alack, alack. I fear my Thisbe's promise is forgot. And thou, O wall, O sweet and lovely wall, that standst between her father's ground and mine. O wall, O sweet and lovely wall, show me thy chink to blink through with mine eye. Thanks, courteous wall. Oh, Jove shield thee well for this. But what's this? No Thisbe do I see! O cursed wall, through whom I see no bliss! Cursed be thy stones for thus deceiving me.
Since the wall is conscious, he should curse back at him.
No, actually, sir, he should not. It's not his line. It's Thisbe's. Don't worry, you're gonna see it. She's gonna come up to the wall, and I'll see her through. Here she comes now. Yonder she comes.
Oh, wall, full often has heard my moans, for parting my fair Pyramus and me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stone, with lime and hair knit up in thee.
I see a voice. Now will I to the chink to spy, and I can hear my lover's face. Thisbe?
My love thou art, my love I think.
Think what thou wilt, I am thy lover's grace. And like Lymander am I trusty still.
And die like Helen, till fates me kill.
Not Cephalus to Procrus was so true.
As Cephalus to Procrus, I to you.
Oh, kiss me through the hole of this vile wall.
I kiss the wall's hole, not your lips at all.
Wilt thou at Ninny's tomb meet me straight away?
Tide life, tide death, I come without delay.
Thus have I, wall, my part discharged so, and being done, thus wall, away doth go.
The lovers should have waited around a little longer. The wall between them is down now.
What can you do? That's what happens with talking walls.
This is the silliest thing I've ever seen.
The best plays are still only illusions if you can use your imagination to fill them in.
In that case, it's your imagination that's interesting, not the play.
If we imagine these guys, they imagine themselves, then they're first-class actors. Look, here come two noble beasts, a man and a lion.
You ladies, whose gentle hearts do fear, the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on floor, may now perhaps both quake and tremble here, when a lion's rough, wildest rage, though roar, then know me am I as Snug the joiner. A lion's fell, no else, no lion's down. But for as I should, as lion come strife into this place, 'twere pity on my life.
'Tis a sensitive beast with a good conscience, too.
He's the best actor I've ever seen play a lion, my lord.
He's as brave as a fox.
And as wise as a goose.
That's not true, my lord. He's not brave enough to be wise.
He's not wise enough to be brave. Anyway, he is what he is. Let's listen to the moon.
This lanthorn doth the horned moon present.
He should have worn the horns on his head.
He isn't a crescent moon, so the horns are inside the circle.
This lanthorn doth the horned moon present. I, the man, it the moon, do seem to be.
And that's the greatest mistake of all. If you're the man in the moon, then you should be inside the lantern. How else are you the man in the moon?
He can't go in the lantern because the candle's too hot.
I'm tired of this moon. I wish he'd wax her wane off the stage.
It seems like he's waning, but out of politeness, we'll have to wait and see.
Go on, Moon.
All that I have to say is this lanthorn, the moon, I, the man in the moon, this hawthorn bush, mine, and this dog, my dog.
Then all of these items should have been in the lantern because they're all in the moon. But quiet, here comes Thisbe.
This is old Ninny's too. But where is my love?
Rah! Good roaring, lion.
Well run, Thisbe.
Good shining moon. Really? The moon shines very well.
Well moused, lion. Shake it around like a cat with a mouse.
And then Pyramus showed up.
And so the lion disappeared?
I thank thee, sunny moon, for thy sunny beams. I thank thee for shining now so bright. For by thy golden, gracious, glittery gleams, I trust to take truest of Thisbe's sight. But stay! Oh, spite! But mark, poor knight, what dreadful dole is here? Eyes, do you see? How can it be? Oh, dainty duck, oh dear! Thy mantle good, what? Stained with blood? Approach, ye furies fell! O fates, come, cut, thread and thrum, quail, crush, conclude, and quell.
You could get sad watching this actor's poor lament if one of your good friends happened to die right at the same time.
Beshrew my heart, but I pity the man.
Wherefore, nature, didst thou lions frame? For lion vile hath here deflowered my dear, which is, which was the fairest dame that lived, that looked, that laughed, that liked with cheer. Come, tears confound, out, sword and wound, the pap of Pyramus, aye, that left pap, where thy heart doth hop. Oh! Thus I am dead. Thus. Now am I dead? Now am I fled? My soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight. Get off the stage. Now, die!
Is someone
Die!
Is someone throwing?
Die!
Is someone throwing dice? Well, I guess it would be die, not dice, since there's only one of him.
Actually, he's a die with no dots. Since he's nothing, he's dead.
If the doctors help, he might recover and become an ass again.
If Moonshine's gone before Thisbe comes back, how will she see her lover dead in the dark?
She'll see him by starlight, but here comes Thisbe. Her moaning and groaning will surely end this play.
I don't think a ridiculous Pyramus like this one deserves much moaning. I hope she keeps it short.
I can't decide which is better. God help us if Pyramus is the better man, but God help us if Thisbe's the better woman.
Look, she spotted him with those lovely eyes of hers.
And now she'll start moaning, of course.
Asleep, my love? What, dead, my dove? Speak, quite dumb. Dead, a Tom. Must cover these sweet eyes, these lily lips, this cherry nose, this yellow cowslip cheeks, are gone. Lovers make moan, his eyes were as green as leeks. O sisters three, come to me, with hands as pale as milk. Lay them in gore, since you have sure. Tongue not a word. Come, trusty sword. Come, blade, my breast imbue.
Stabs herself.
And thus this be's end. And farewell, friends. I die you.
Dies.
Moonshine and Lion are left to bury the dead.
Yes, and wall too.
No, 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 no. I assure you, the wall that is part of the two lovers has been taken down now. Now, my sir, would you like to see the epilogue or a country dance between two of us?
No epilogue, please. When all of the actors are dead and there's no one left to be blamed, there's no reason for an epilogue. In fact, if the playwright had played Pyramus himself and hung himself with Thisbe's belt, it would have been a very good tragedy. A good tragedy indeed. Now, let's see your dance. The clock has chimed midnight, my friends. It's time to go to bed. It's almost fairy hour. But I'm afraid this blatantly stupid play will have us oversleep in the morning. Let's go to bed, my friends. We'll continue the celebration for 2 weeks to come with nightly parties and new celebration.
Now, the hungry lion roars and the wolf behowls the moon, whilst the heavy plowman snores, all weary task foredone. Now the wasted brands do glow. It's the wretched that lies in woe, in remembrance of a shroud. Now is a time of night, where the graves are open wide, and each person lets forth his sprite, in the churchway paths do glide. And we fairies that do run by the triple Hecate's team, following darkness like a dream, now are frolic. I'm set with broom before, to sweep the dust behind the door.
Through the house give glimmering light by the dead and drowsy fire. Every elf and fairy sprite hop as lightly as bird from briar. Now this ditty after me, sing and dance it trippingly.
First, rehearse your song from memory, and make sure each note is pretty. We'll all join hands and bless this place with our fairy grace.
If we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle themes, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, then we will mend. And as I am an honest puck, and if we have unearned luck, now to scape the serpent's tongue, we'll make amends ere long. Else the puck a liar call. So good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
Three, two,